This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching. This is the Burton Photon step-on boot. It's been a while since I've ridden a step-on boot or a step-on system, so I thought I'd reacquaint myself with it and put some real time in instead of the frantic manic demos. Let's get into a quick summary. These do not fit quite like the regular Burton boots. They're a little more narrow. They are excessively responsive. They blend with, let's say, the step-on X or step-on incredibly well to where it feels like the binding and the boot are one, and it's just, for me, too much response. But for you, it might be the response you've always been looking for. Then on top of that, you have such an easy in and out. For anybody who loves that quick release technology and you want a quick in and out, this is the quickest, this is the easiest, and this is the best. You also get added response, so you're not trading off response for quick release. That's why I think so many people like this boot. Now, I rode this with the Hometown Hero and the Yes Ghost in varying conditions, and when I was testing with the Hometown Hero, with either combination, with the step-on X or the step-on, it was just too much for me. It was just overpowering this board for me. I like it, but I like that board better with, let's say, Cartels or Cartel X or Union Atlas, much better. So I switched from that board and brought out a board that's kind of a little bit slower turn initiation wise for me, and thought that might even things out a little bit. I've been testing the Ghost and it's wide underfoot for me for my size 9, so that worked a little better, but I'll tell you, still overpowered that. So let's get into sizing. This feels right for a size 9 in length, and this is a size 9. I'm a true size 9 boot on the Brannock scale, and I am almost an E width-wise. And when I first got into these boots, whew, they felt so tight. My arches were starting to cramp. The width here was okay for the widest part of my foot, but inside, right along this part, kind of the middle on the bottom of my foot, they're still a little crampy from 2 days of riding these. But what was cool is after a couple runs, it just, like, the boot just started to expand and open up and mold to my foot, and that felt really good, because at first I was just undoing these all the way in the line and even popping this open so I could just get a little bit of my circulation back. And by the end of my 2 days of testing, these were starting to feel really comfortable. Now, lacing and adjustability, I was kind of bummed that it really is just one BOA that controls the whole boot underneath here, but then you have a little extra with this ankle strap, and that's really cool because it gives you some upper and lower control, but not as much as my SLXs over there that I tested these against, and those are just much easier with that completely separate upper and lower. And most Burton double BOA speed lace traditional boots have that separate upper and lower, and I like that better. But I think for most people, you'll probably be fine unless you're like me and you really like that extra adjustability. On and off, super easy. Pop, pop, pull this thing out, you're out. To get on, it's pretty easy too. Very easy to set up. Now, in terms of flex, these are massively stiff. It's soft in the back here, but it just, this forward flex, it feels a good bit stiffer than any other traditional Burton boot. Even the Driver X, this feels stiffer than on this side here, because you really don't have ankle straps, so they're fortifying the boot. And because of that, and the step-on binding, how it clicks in there, you have so much response It's too much response for me. I like a regular response boot when it comes to that. Just give me a regular responsive binding and a responsive boot. I'd rather be in that. This is just too much. But for some, you're gonna love it. If you've always wanted more response, this can do it for you for sure. Now, flex for tension, there isn't much going on here to preserve the longevity of this boot. It's not gonna hold up as long as boots with articulated stuff happening right here, but it's so stiff, I would actually look forward to it softening up a good bit, and it will over time. Now, shock absorption. I like this so much better than my Burton SLXs. They have that X-Base technology there, and it just doesn't feel as shock absorbent with those. Those feel hard. They're not the most shock absorbent boots you'll ever find, but they work really well with the step-on system. That's all you can do. So the overall experience is pretty shock absorbent, and even just walking around through parking lots, back and forth to the lifts, this was great. As far as traction goes, there's pretty good traction here. I really liked it. I didn't feel slippery. With my SLXs, that plastic X-Base under there is very slippery and very hard to walk in icy, hard snow. This did a much better job. It's very grippy, very durable. It'd be fine for most places. And as far as footprint goes, this is very reduced in footprint. It's very much like the Burton SLX. They're just about the same size. In footprint, that is great because it helps you eliminate toe and heel drag, especially if you can't center this boot up very well in the step-on binding, which has limited adjustability. One side might be a little further over, so you can reduce that a little bit with this reduced footprint boot, and I like that. Might as well talk about the liner too. It's nice, soft, comfortable. I feel no pressure points on the forward lean, but you can see it's got a little notch there. It's got some reinforcement here to kind of help it preserve its flex, but it's a very soft, very comfortable imprint-free liner. Inside, you have that reflective thing going on here, and it does a pretty good job there as well. So overall, I think it's a great boot though for anybody who wants a really responsive boot binding combo. They like that step in kind of thing that is just so simple in and out. It's better than any other quick release boot binding combo I've ever tried, or quick release binding I've ever tried. So I think if you want ultra response or ultra quick release, you want to get a board that might be too much for you to handle with traditional bindings and boots and just overpower it, this could be fun. I think as it softens up though, it's going to be a much better ride. You just have to break it in, and I think this will soften up nicely and start to act a little more like the smooth Burton response that everybody's used to. There you have it. All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, and we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now, if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.